like to somehow construct an updated list of ferroelectrics in some automatic way. And we would also like to make this available in the internet so everyone can see it. And along the way, of course, we would also like to find some new ferroelectric mechanisms and perhaps some new phenomena. And there is important previous work along this line, but we would like to emphasize that the main difference of our work with previous work is that we can perform symmetry analysis on a large number of materials automatically. And in particular, that allows us to recover many non-ferroelectrics through the process. So before talking about more about this list, I would like to introduce some concepts. So from first principles, the spontaneous and switch-off polarization of ferroelectrics can be described as a polar insulating distortion from a non-polar structure, and typically looks something like this, right? We are also interested in antiferroelectrics, and in this case, the zero Riemann polarization is described by an antipolar ground state in addition of the non-polar and polar phases of regular ferroelectrics, and it typically looks something like this, right? And the field-induced ferroelectric switching that gives rise to the low-intensity loop is ensured by a small energy difference between antipolar and polar structures. So let me go back and talk a little more about this updated list of ferroelectrics. I would like to point out that any list of ferroelectric that we can come up with would depend on the specific database that we use. So if we assume that these are all the ferroelectrics that are out there, and we choose a generic database, there will be some ferroelectrics included in that database, and some will be left out, right? So for instance, the list of lines and glass, it's somewhere between these two diagrams, and the line that separates them depends on the specific database that you choose. So I would also like to emphasize that among the ferroelectrics that are included in the database, we need to distinguish between those that have both non-polar and polar structures reported in the database, and those that have only one of them, either non-polar or the polar structure available in the database. So in this work, we will focus on this portion of the diagram, and we hope that we can extend the workflow to this other portion of the diagram and to any database available. Right, so now let me show the workflow. So we choose to work with the materials project database because it's by far the easiest first option. It's extremely easy to access the database with scripts, and it's very easy to integrate with DSP. Most of the database is based on experimental structures, but they also contain some hypothetical structures, but even these structures are also driven by theory or some reasoning behind them. And just to give you a sense of what is out there, there are roughly about 70,000 entries, and a quarter of them correspond to polar space groups. Some additional details. Symmetry analysis is performed with the Bilbao crystallographic server. High throughput manipulation of files and calculations is performed with PineGen, math methods, and fireworks, which are actually developed by some of the authors of the work. DFT calculations are performed with VASP, and we choose the PDE exchange functional, PW pseudopotential, and for some selected compounds we compute HSC band gaps, which are typically seen as more accurate than PDE band gaps. We are well aware that PDE tends to overestimate volumes and therefore to overpredict ferroelectrics, but in this first attempt we would like to be as inclusive as possible. Okay, so in order to find new ferroelectric mechanisms, I would like to introduce this concept of symmetry pair, which is going to be very useful for my talk. So in this talk, a symmetry pair would be a non-polar structure that has a polar distortion, and these two structures are related by symmetry. Okay? And I would like to emphasize that at this point, these structures could be in principle metallic. Right? So we focus on the distortion between these two structures. instance, for a specific compound like bimethanate, you can have more than one symmetry pair. You can have a distortion from cubic to tetragonal or to orthorhombic or cohedral. And for each of them, you can define a distortion magnitude, which is going to be the maximum atomic displacements among all the atoms. And for each of these symmetry pairs, you can compute a energy difference with DSP. We are going to work in units of new electron volt per atom, where a small energy means something about 10. Okay, so the main workflow is divided in two parts. The first part is symmetry analysis, and the second part is first piece of calculation. We start with something like 70,000 compounds, and we first look at all those compounds that have a group-subgroup relationship between a non-polar and polar state. We find about 25,000 of them. Then we have all the information of the formula units, so we can compute something called the K-index, and we can select only those pairs that have a K-index compatible with the group-subgroup relationship of the space group. And that decreases the number to something like 14,000 pairs. And then we enter the most intensive part of the symmetry analysis, which is to, for each pair, check the Wyckoff splitting using Bilbao. And this is something that we do in the cluster and takes about 3 days to finish. So instead of doing manually one by one, we can do this automatically. And again, at this point, some structure could be metallic in principle. So the next step is to take only those that are insulating. And if the ground state is polar, then it's a ferroelectric. If the ground state is antipolar, then it's an antiferroelectric. And we find that in total, there are about 100 ferroelectrics in the Modelos project. Of course, some of these are non-ferroelectric. So if you remove those, we end up with 28 new ferroelectrics in the database. So let me tell you a little bit more about this part of the workflow. So once we have a symmetry pair, we relax the endpoint, we relax the non-polar and polar structure and compute the TDE gap. If the TDE gap is positive, we construct an interpolation between them. And if the TDE gap remains positive along the path, we then compute the polarization using the molecular polarization and end up with electric candidate. Okay, so we move to the results. So this is a histogram of all symmetry pairs as a function of distortion magnitude. In orange, we have non-ferroelectrics, and in blue, we have candidate ferroelectrics. And we find that all non-ferroelectric locate mostly between 0 and 1 angstrom. We also find a dip around 1 angstrom. And surprisingly, we also find that there are many non-ferroelectric that have a rather large distortion magnitude, even close to 2. But for this talk, just as a first attempt, we are going to work in this portion of the diagram. Okay, so let me first start by showing you the non-ferroelectric that we find. So for the non-ferroelectrics here in orange, by the way, by non-ferroelectric I mean that we know the mechanism of electricity. For the non-ferroelectric, we construct this diagram where we plot the energy difference between non-polar and polar structures as a function of distortion magnitude. The size of the circle is the polarization magnitude, and the color corresponds to the polar space group. We find a subtle linear relationship between these two quantities, and we find that if the energy is positive, meaning that the polar structure is lower in energy than the non-polar structure, we have ferroelectrics. And we also find that many compounds tend to 0, and there are some antiferroelectrics in the diagram. And these seem to have negative energy below the 0. However, this is not exactly what we're looking for an antiferroelectric, because, for instance, for lead circonate, if you have a negative energy, that means that the polar structure is higher than the non-polar. And this is likely to be the polar structure that you find for small electric fields in the electrolysis loop. The real ferroelectric field-induced ferroelectric phase, which we know has a RTC structure, is not in the database, and therefore not possible to find through this process. Okay, so a wave ferroelectric looks more like something like this. You will have a positive energy between polar and non-polar, but there will be a third structure which is antipolar as the ground state. Also for the non-ferroelectrics, we compute the polarization. So this is experimental polarization as a function of the DFT polarization. The closer the dots to the diagonal, the better the estimation. Many compounds are close to zero, so let me expand that. Overall, we find that the PDE gives the right polarization. The value for barium titanate and lead titanate coincide with the literature. There are few cases where the calculation is really bad. However, these are long-standing controversies between the computed polarization and the experimental polarization, where the experimental polarization is 2 orders of magnitude smaller than the PhD calculation. So this is still in agreement with the literature. We are also capable of recovering many ferroelectrics that have been proposed through theory. Okay, so for instance, these 2 compounds have been proposed by Abraham, and all the others have been proposed using DFT. These are the space group for non-polar and polar. The energy difference, polarization, volume increase. Not all these references report polarization, so it's difficult to compare. But in every case, we record the right symmetry of the distortion. Okay. So now that I have shown you that we are capable of recovering many non-ferroelectrics, we can go back and see whether we can find some new ferroelectrics in the blue region. So for these compounds, we compute the same diagram. So this is again energy difference, of course magnitude, the size of the circle is the polarization, and again we find this subtle linear relationship. And so if the ground state is polar, we find ferroelectrics. So these are new ferroelectrics that we find through this process. 3 of them are improper ferroelectrics. They have the same structure that yttrium manganese. We find cases where the polarization arises from the rotation of some groups, like in this case, tilting. There are cases where the polarization arises from displacement of one species with respect to the other, like in thallium here, chlorine here. There are also cases where the polarization arises from some distortion of the molecule involved, like nitrogen, hydrogen here, oxygen, hydrogen here. And there are cases that are fairly more complicated, but there are some rotation of a molecule, and that off-center some other group, like in this case where we have aluminum, chlorine, H displaced from the rest of the structure. And finally, we can also go back and look for antiferroelectrics. So if the ground state is antipolar, we find about 7 new antiferroelectrics with the antipolar and polar space groups, a small energy difference between these 2 structures, polarization and band gaps. And some of them have rather small band gaps that could be useful for photovoltaic application. So in conclusion, I've shown you this automatic high-throughput workflow to identify new ferroelectrics. I've shown you some trends in energy difference, polarization, and phase groups. And I show you 21 new ferroelectrics and 7 new ferroelectrics, and the specifics of ferroelectric mechanisms. Thank you for your attention.
Could you please show again the diagram of experiment versus DFT polarization? Yeah. So I think if those are computed with the equilibrium geometries for a given function,
yes, that's very important. Yeah, it's not
I
relaxed.
suppose it is notorious that density functional are not very good to projecting such delicate geometries. So
Yes.
suppose you do another plot in which you compute polarization using the experimental geometry, not the theoretical integral. Would that improve? Or?
Yeah, definitely. For instance, lead titanate, that's a very good example. This value is way overestimated, and the reason for that is because we're using the relaxed TDE structure. If you use the experimental volume, you recover a value that is
Yes,
about
in fact,
38.
there potassium niobate, which is what our original prototype, the very
Yeah.
first was computed as I showed this
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
And in fact, in our case, was less than 10%, maybe 5%. Yeah. But we used the experimental.
Yeah, so in the workflow, since we're dealing with so many materials, right, we need to find the simplest way to say something about all of them. So the easiest thing to do is to relax them, but if there's any reason to look at any of these compounds further, then it requires more work to do
One of the crucial problems, we don't have a functional which gives very reliable geometries to this level.
One easy way to improve would be to use the solve instead of the use. It's a functional that's very similar to the that gives much better
David?
Just as long as we're on this, the experimental polarization, I presume what you mean is the switchable polarization. Is that right? In other words, in the cases where it's zero, these things are just experimentally not switchable. Is that all it is?
Yes, exactly. These values are taken directly from the hysteresis loop or from experimental measurements, and cadmium titanate is, for instance, thought to be incipient ferroelectric, so the polarization never shows up.
It switches below 50 degrees Kelvin. Are these room temperature or these all temperatures? Cadmium titanate switches fine. TC is 50K.
Oh, okay, so perhaps I should update this.
Yeah, we should. You should.
Yeah.
No,
I'm following this reference.
where are the experimental numbers from? Are these room temperature values or all
yes.
values?
Most likely are room temperature.
Jim has it all in his head, so you.
I didn't understand, in the beginning of your talk, when you do the scrutiny, you said you select materials which have group-subgroup relationship, and then you look for the index of the group. Why? What do you mean by that? I mean, if there is a group-subgroup relationship, so the index of the group is bigger than one, or I didn't understand that point.
So even if you have a group-subgroup relationship, it might not be a feasible transition. You need to make sure that the wide product splitting is correct. You also need to make sure that the K-index is compatible.
Compatible with what?
With the group-to-group relationship for the specific number of formula units that you have.
Are you looking only for the phase transitions or group, symmetry pairs which keep the same number of units out?
No. The unit cell can increase, but that increase cannot be any number. It has to follow some mathematical.
Yeah, given lunch, I think that also should continue in the break during lunch. Sit at the same table. So one last question.
Can you include structures that have polar structure P1, or do you run into computational problems?
We do have some. We include P1 just. There's no reason to. Yeah, one of them Ferroelectric has a P1 polar structure. Yes.
Okay, there's a lot to discuss here in the whole periodic table, squared or cubed or whatever. So we'll leave that for the rest. But let's thank you again. Here, lunch is around the corner. We're going to reconvene here promptly at 1 o'clock. Yeah. You might want to bring it with you. The problem is that we came lock the doors, but don't let everybody's out. So I mean, no, I'm actually going to leave my.
Very nice.
Just a second.